Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hey Shady Lady, and today we're going to talk about how to talk to yourself when nobody's there. And the reason we're talking about this is to help you out with streaming on Twitch or streaming on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you choose to stream. I am going to be specifically speaking about video game streamers, but I think these techniques and ideas can be applied to any type of stream. First thing that I wanted to say is when somebody comes into your stream, you have about 15 seconds to convince them to follow you or hang around. So if they come in and they see you just sitting there like a zombie with your controller up, mouth agape, not saying a word, unless they're specifically there to see some like really stellar gameplay and it's just about the gameplay only, they're probably going to leave your chat. I know that this happens to me all the time when I'm looking for new streamers on Twitch to follow. In about a 15-second window, I will have decided whether I want to engage with them, whether I want to leave, whether I want to follow, etc. If I come in and they're not saying anything and it's just like kind of boring playthrough, I will just leave. And if I see them talking, I'll sort of start to observe how interactive I feel like they are with chat. And if I feel like they will actually talk to me if I talk to them, I will start to engage. On Twitch, lurking is probably the primary audience that you have. There are a lot of people that engage with chat, but for the most part, people come in and lurk and they don't talk that much. And so you've got to think about, yes, the audience that you're talking to, but also the audience that never talks to you, but they're there a lot of the time. They just never say anything because they're lurking. They have your stream up in the background while they're working on something else, while they're cleaning their room, while they're doing homework, while they're doing this or that. So you've got to think about the fact that those people are looking for entertainment. They're not necessarily looking for the gameplay. They're looking for your commentary as you're doing it, your reactions. So we're going to be looking here in a second at 6 big streamers slash playthroughers, let's players, to sort of get a feel for how they do it. I have 3 other filler things to help you out with conversation. You just want to fill the space. That's the only point I'm trying to make with this. You have 15 seconds to impress, narrate your inner monologue, practice. The first thing is narrating your thoughts. So you narrate your inner monologue. Everyone's sort of constantly got this inner monologue going on in their head where they're thinking about what they have to do that day, reacting to this or that. You have something going on in your head at all times, narrating that inner monologue. If I'm thinking something, I'm saying it at the same time. There is a little bit of filtering you have to do because you don't necessarily want to be super offensive or controversial, unless that's part of your brand, of course, but you do want to be constantly filling the empty space. Think about like radio shows. You never want dead air. You don't want silence because if someone turns on the radio, they're looking for noise. And if you're just like, there's this awkward silence where nothing's being said, you're, as a listener, I don't know, it would make me feel anxious and annoyed and like, why am I even listening to this? I'm going to change the channel to find something that's actually got something going on with it. You don't want to let there be 15 to 30 seconds, a minute of silence. You're not serving the entertainment purpose that people are often looking for when they're watching streamers. I typically go through the small talk where I'm like, hey, how's everyone? This is what my day was. I watched this movie. I thought about this. This funny thing happened to me at the grocery store. I will go through all of the like day-to-day things, and assuming you have 0 audience, that works too. Just talk the whole time. It could be something as simple as responding to a character in game. That's a big thing, and we're going to see Markiplier do this in one of the games that I have pulled up where he's reading out all of the text in game, and so you can rely on the game almost entirely for your fuel. Narrate what characters are saying, talk about things that are going on, you know, and if you're playing a game, be like, oh yeah, I know that this creator of this game is also working on this game. Constantly creating conversation. And a second thing, once you run out of your small talk, or say you're playing something a little bit more sandboxy, like, you know, Minecraft or Skyrim, or even something like Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, like at a certain point, you can't just be like, well, I'm running across my farm and I'm gonna pick this turnip, and like eventually like your audience will get bored of you just narrating like in a boring way. They'll get bored of boring things. That's the worst sentence ever. But anyway, you know, it's a lot like watching someone do reaction videos on YouTube where they're just like, wow, this is crazy. Like it's boring commentary because it's like, obviously this is crazy. It's a crazy video. Like, I want to hear something original, you know, I want to hear something unique, I guess. Another thing you can do is fish your audience for conversation pieces. I do this quite frequently when I run out of my small talks, or if I'm playing a grindy game. There was one night where I spent 4 hours level grinding in Final Fantasy X. At a certain point, like, you can't really comment on what's going on the screen anymore because you're doing the same thing over and over again for 4 hours. This happens a lot with like shiny hunters on Pokemon. You can only narrate that so much before it's like, yeah, we get it. You're in a Pokemon battle. Okay. And you have to have more conversation going on, asking your audience leading questions. Like if I'm drinking coffee or something and I'm like, oh, I got, a vanilla iced coffee today. What's your favorite kind of coffee? Many people should answer what their favorite coffee is. And I've had sometimes where I'll ask a question and literally no one will answer. I have an active chat, but they just don't care to follow that thread of thought. When you see your chat react to something you say in a very like energetic way, I know there's been some times where I'll haphazardly mention that I have ADHD or something, and then I see 4 or 5 people in my chat sort of react to that and say something about that. Then it's like, oh, that's a pretty decent number of people that are interested in this topic. I'm going to follow this vein until it runs dry. That's a really gross visual. But so I'll follow that conversation piece, and once like I see my chat stop responding to the things that I'm saying and they sort of drift to a new topic, at the same time you're leading the conversation, you also want to supply what they're looking for. But obviously if they're crossing your bound, you don't have to just talk about stuff because chat wants to talk about it. It's the same thing as if you're sitting in a room having a conversation with a group of people. Everyone's trying to talk about a video game that came out and you're just over here constantly trying to like change the topic and be like, no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about SpaghettiOs or whatever. You want to be paying attention to what they're talking about and what they need to talk about, want to talk about, as long as it's something you're comfortable with. I see people use song requests on their channel as a way to fill space, and you can sing songs at that point with each other. Well, you can sing to your audience and you can react to the funny songs. People might throw in trolly songs. Like song requests are a good way to sort of fill the space. Or you could set up your own playlist if you don't already have an audience. You can set up your playlist. I will sometimes sing to myself when there's like dead space. I will start singing little songs about what's going on in the game. And that's something you could do if you're comfortable with that. Again, another big issue I think is people feel stage fright and they just get to the point where they know they're alone in the room. They know there's no one listening. It really is just practice. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And so the first couple of times you stream, it might feel really awkward and uncomfortable being alone and talking to nobody. Often when I'm in the car alone, this one's also really awkward though, because I know I'm not streaming. I know I'm not recording. I know nothing's going on. I'm literally just driving in the car talking to myself. But being alone in a car, like if you drive, is a really good way to practice too. You can just sit there and talk, like pick a topic and just start talking and just practice at talking to yourself. I know it can be uncomfortable at first and it can feel awkward and you can feel like, oh man, if this was the Truman Show, everyone's laughing at me right now. But after a while, it becomes second nature to you. We're going to go ahead and take a look at some of these streamers and Let's Players. We're going to look first at this Markiplier one. And so I am going to be using big streamers. I know that Markiplier doesn't often stream, but he does Let's Plays mostly. So we've got 2 of his, 2 PewDiePie. We've got an SS Sniper Wolf. We've got 1 Soda Poppin', OMG It's Firefox, and Dizzy Kitten. And these are all in the top 10, either top 10 male or top 10 female player, like Let's Players or streamers. So let's take a look at this really quick. So he's visually entertaining you right now. Even though he wasn't talking, he was visually entertaining you, right? Okay.
Welcome to Chicken Sausage. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I think I'm gonna start the game now. Hello.
And so this is what I was talking about when I said you do the introduction talk where it's like, hey, this is who I am and this is how I am and we're gonna play this game. It's sort of the introduction.
So this is like Sosig's house. This is like a visual novel of some sort. I'm not sure what it's about, but it looked so delightful that I couldn't not play it. Oh, look at the... hi.
Okay, so do you see how he spent that entire time talking? There wasn't really a second of silence the whole time. He was like, hey, my name's Markiplier. We're going to play this game. It's called this. And as soon as this little cat came up, or he's like, oh, look at this cute. And he cut himself off as soon as the text started. He's filling that space. And once he noticed there was something better to react to than, whether he was going to laugh at the chicken or the candle, whatever it was he was about to make a joke about, he cut himself off because the text becomes priority, the text of the character.
Hey, so I'm Sosig. It's kind of like sausage, but not. Okay, what's your name? Oh, my name is Markiplier.
He narrates the whole thing. He doesn't see what's your name and then just type in Markiplier or Markimeow. And we're gonna skip around a little bit.
Cool. What? Oh, no way!
Do you see that he's constantly making noise? He's constantly reacting to this. Like anybody else playing this alone, no stream or anything, would just be, maybe he'll react out loud, but I doubt it. Like he's constantly like looking and talking about things. We're going to take a look at a different game because visual novels are pretty straightforward. You constantly are reading what's on screen. You give your characters voices and you react to what they're saying and occasionally stop and talk to your chat, etc. But let's take a look here. He's playing Grandma's Haunted House.
My name is Markiplier and welcome to Contempt. Now, this is the first game that I've been able to record.
Oh, is it called Contempt? My bad. I just assumed it was Grandma's Haunted House. Whoops.
Alright, can I run? No. This is the standard crawl that I'm gonna have around my grandma's.
That's an inner monologue. As you're playing a game, you're trying to figure out the buttons. I do this a lot. Like when I start a new game, I will narrate out loud. Okay, so control does this, left, right does that, so that people understand that I'm trying to learn the controls of the game and I'm not just silently learning them. And also, if the audience hasn't played the game before, and maybe they're not even planning on playing it, they're gonna learn how to play it just listening to you, so they feel like they're playing it too.
House. She told me strictly never to run. Run, spell. Huh? Hello? Ooh, rumbly. Sounds like there's a storm or a train passing by, but...
Inner monologue.
Grandma, I told you to fix these floors! Where's all those cookies you promised me?
I don't know if it's canon, your grandma's house, or if he's made this joke up himself and he's just pretending that this is his grandma's house, but he's really running with that gag either way. Grandma, where are the cookies? Grandma, why's your house so dirty? So that's another technique, is pick something and run with it. It's sort of like a comedian does the rule of threes, like tell a joke 3 times and it's even funnier on the 3rd time.
So my vocal coach told me that's the best thing I could do for my boy.
That's the best thing that I could do for my, cuts his train of thought off because there's something more interesting and more relevant. It's just him filling the space with his inner monologue. And when he realizes that there's something going on screen that's more important than his filling space conversation, he cuts it off and he allows the game to take priority. So what I would want to say is, like, a boring Let's Player would just be like, oh, well, that's a creepy picture. Well, I wonder what's in here. No real animation to the voice and not saying much at all. Really generic things. They're not entertaining. They're not engaging.
Oh no. Why did you scratch out Grandpa's head?
Inner monologue.
Did you scratch out Grandpa's head? Grandma's house is scarier than I remember. Anyway. So that was Contempt. Thank you everybody so much for watching.
He's running that gimmick the whole time, that joke the whole time. And so he's created, unless this is canon for the game, he's created a reason to continually be talking about some sort of storyline out loud, even though it's not relevant to what's going on screen, which allows him to continue to engage and entertain you the whole time. We're going to skip off of Markiplier. I think you get the point with him. And we're going to take a look at PewDiePie, right? This is an older one. This is from 2014. We're going to look at a more recent one after this.
I'm so fucking excited. We're playing Alien Isolation. It should be okay. I have really slow internet, so genuinely I try to avoid that, but... So I might actually have to go back on that, but yeah.
So he's inner monologuing there, right, about his internet connection. We're going to skip in past the cutscene because obviously during a cutscene you want to be quiet so your audience can hear the cutscene that's going on. Maybe reacting to something out loud, but mostly letting your audience hear the plot. And you hear the plot, of course, too.
Crew ID. We just signed in. Everyone is signed in, apparently. What is this? Core system output. What is this? Where 031? What does that mean? Oh! Well, how convenient.
So we got a little bit of silence going, a little bit more silence with PewDiePie than with Markiplier.
That was quick and easy. And we're wearing Converse. Amazing.
Okay, so he just observed something in game.
They look amazing.
Space couch. He's reacting to all the stuff he's seeing.
Oh, so this is a safe station. Safe station.
So that's a good example of like making like little songs out of stuff in game to sort of fill space and add entertainment.
I gotta love my safe station. Ah, yeah.
I would actually say, like, no hate on PewDiePie, I would actually say that Markiplier is a little bit better at filling space than PewDiePie is.
And the incident happened before my
So he's going to read all of this letter here, which is definitely something you should do. Anytime you have text in the game, as long as it's not super boring, use that opportunity and fill space and make it entertaining. Let's take a look at his Resident Evil 7 one. This is from this year. I feel like we're probably going to see a little bit of a difference in his personality because this is 3 years later when he's probably a little bit more, I would say, confident.
No, this is where we came from. Great, you're a fucking genius, kids. So our girlfriend I guess, were babysitting, and then she just went away. Oh, hello.
So, all right, he did the same thing that we saw Markiplier doing, where he's narrating what he's thinking. Oh, so our girlfriend went missing, and I guess, and as soon as he rounds this corner, he sees something interesting and engaging on screen, so he cuts his like monologue off and he focuses on the thing that you're seeing on screen instead. So you can see that he's filling space with his inner monologue, and as soon as something engaging is going on stream, he cuts that inner monologue off because the game is now priority over him filling the space with his inner monologue, right? I think that we've probably like driven that point home.
There's someone upstairs? I don't like how defenseless I am.
That's something that you would feel playing this game, and that's something this game wants you to feel, but that's not something that as just a gamer you would say out loud. That's something as a streamer you definitely want to say out loud. You want your audience to feel how you're feeling as you're feeling it, and so you want to convey those things, and that's why I said when I'm trying to learn controls, I let them know.
Fucking love you when you do that filthy Frank voice. Do it for me, please. Hey, how's it going? Oh my god!
All right, so he's found one of the little dolls in the game, right? And he's completely improving with this. Like, this has nothing to do with the gameplay. This is him just straight up entertaining his audience with his improv. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't played this game.
Wait.
Me, are you crazy son of a bitch? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Now, do you think the average person playing a video game is going to be sitting there making those noises, screaming at it? You know, I don't think so. For the most part, people don't react like this, but this is purely for entertainment. This is also to convey to his audience what he's feeling as he's feeling it. And we're going to go ahead and move on. We've got SS Sniper Wolf here, and she's playing Outlast 2.
Because I don't know the buttons.
Fuck.
Okay, oh no. Where's wifey?
Lynn?
Can I just die?
Lynn!
What if I just go down there? Oh shit. Sack. That's age restricted right there.
Who's...
She's actually narrating the least.
It's a battery. I probably have a flashlight in.
She's not super animated either. She's got kind of a monotonous tone.
Because that's what we like to do. We like to die. Something's going on.
Let's see if she reads this.
The babe is coming. The midwife's lament. Ready the knife. The babe is coming. Knight's midwife. Mother to the enemy. Stained within. God's creation. Saved with sin.
Okay, so...
Okay, somebody wrote a song.
She didn't read the whole thing. She read the first paragraph and she decided that it wasn't interesting enough. I think that we have different styles of Let's Play. I would have read the whole, and I did. When I played this, I read the whole thing and I milked it for everything that it was worth because it's entertaining, it's interesting, it's gross, it's like, it's setting the mood, and I think that's super important. Okay, so it's a different day, but I just wanted to give you guys an example of how to read the letter in an animated, entertaining, funny way. So we're gonna look at Jacksepticeye here because he does a really excellent job with it.
Midwife's lament. The babe is coming. Ready the knife. The babe is coming. Knight's midwife. Mother to the enemy. Stained within. God's creation. Saved with sin. Hallelujah. Stay the storm. No longer must we wait. For come the dawn. The enemy born to die in Temple Gate. The babe is growing, her belly swells, the babe is growing, sent from hell. Ezekiel waits, sharpening his blade. Gather at the gate, we kneel and pray. And then we go back to the chorus, you know, death, doom, destruction.
Okay, so that's an example of how to do it in a really entertaining way. Sing the whole song to them. It's much more entertaining, and when you give up on the letter halfway through, people don't get to experience the full spectrum of the game. Yeah, here we go. Let's see what happens when she gets caught.
Oh god. She still found me? Yo! No, seriously, go, get out.
Okay, now she had this level of animation the whole time, this level of like enthusiasm. Although maybe that's how maybe the sense of dread that the game is building has her being a lot more quiet.
Ouchies.
So we've got 3 more people to watch, so let's...
All right, super jump.
This is Soda Poppin'.
Nice.
And he's playing Uncharted 4, so
Kid's
we're
got
not
some
watching a
balls,
horror
man.
game here.
Like legit.
We've got some silence here, but this is a tense moment.
Don't break. Oh, fuck me with a stick.
All right, narrating inner monologue, what he's hoping.
Holy shit.
Does
We're gonna
this
lose some
happen?
weight. That's what we need to do. Okay.
I haven't played Uncharted 4. I didn't know you played as a kid.
Is that the good guy or who is this? Did not mean to jump.
All right, so we've got him narrating all of his thoughts. Is that the good guy or who is this? That's what you're thinking as you're playing the game, and he's saying it out loud so that you know what he's thinking.
What? Heads up what? What am I heads upping for? To do with my brain. Okay? Please. I think I'm ruining it. I bet I was really close. And I just
he's improving a little bit right here.
Okay, we'll put that bad boy there. This guy needs to scooch over. Nope, no. Scooch.
So he's narrating out loud everything that he's doing as he's doing it with this puzzle right here.
And then we're gonna move this guy back. We're gonna go back in his spot.
Again, this isn't something that you would do if you were playing the game alone, but since you know you have an audience listening to you, you want to fill that space. Let's move on to OMG, it's Firefox. She's playing Event 0.
Oh god, no, there's part of an I. E and L. Remember E and L. We're gonna slowly put it together, okay guys? E. Oh my god, we're getting there. We're getting there.
You can tell she's talking to an audience. We're gonna slowly put it together. Remember this, okay guys?
E and L. Shit, this is so creepy. Oh god, would you? Oh man, look at the, what the hell is that? Okay, can we make it sexy in here? We can turn on some music. Hello. Oh, thank you. Aw, I like you. She doesn't have pillows! Trick question, or trick answer. You bitch. Damn it. Nandy is messy, right? We were already here looking around, and I feel like from the logs, it appears like somebody came in here, looked, and then couldn't find it. Unless, what's this? I feel like somebody already came in here and maybe took it.
She's letting you know what her train of thought is so that you're on the same level as her. So when she's surprised later by something that happens, you understand why she's surprised because she told you what her expectations and thoughts were. Let's take a look at Dizzy Kitten playing Layers of Fear.
Spices. Let me see here.
We got a good bit of silence going on with her too.
Okay.
So something different that she could be doing right here, granted she's an extremely successful Twitch streamer, so I'm not trying to she's clearly doing fine, but something different she could be doing there that I think Markiplier or someone like Markiplier would have been doing is, oh, we're gonna walk over to this desk, I wonder what's inside these drawers, let's open this one, oh, there's nothing in the top, okay, let's open the bottom one, oh, there's nothing in here either, oh, why did I even check this desk?
We found the bathroom.
We found, okay.
I don't think I'm gonna find anything I need in here, to be honest. But that'll work.
So she's mostly just making noises and reactions towards the environment. There's not really a lot of space filling that she's doing. But this is a pretty creepy game, so this is one of those games where you sort of... This happened to me when I was playing Little Nightmares a couple of days ago, where it's like you just kind of get quiet because you don't want to get caught in the game, even though you being noisy out loud isn't actually going to do it, but...
Okay, I was like, surely not.
Let's go back to Markiplier really quick. All right, so we've got him doing the same thing that she's doing right here. She's exploring like an abandoned spot where she doesn't know if she's going to be attacked by something, and he's doing the same thing here.
Found the coat room, I think.
And she just was like, I found the bathroom.
Oh, hey, I didn't close that. Hi. Oh, okay.
How animated he is, I think, adds to the silence that he has.
Find me in here. Was that the attic opening? No, thank you. I don't want any. No.
So this is actually, I've not watched any of these playthroughs that we're looking at right now. The reason that this is so entertaining to me is because he's so animated with it, and it's like, yeah, no, I don't want to answer that door. Like it's so funny to see such an exaggerated reaction to something that's clearly how all of us would feel. You know, you walk into a closet, the door mysteriously shuts behind you, and then someone knocks on the door and you're like, yeah, no, no, I'm not gonna answer the door. Like, but I hope that sort of explains and shows you guys some examples of how it's being done by super successful popular streamers. What I saw mostly is that I don't know, maybe if I have a weak spot for Markiplier, but I do think that Markiplier was doing the best job at entertaining and engaging people as they were watching the playthrough, which might be why he is so wildly successful. I think they're all excellent. I think they're all really good. They're all really successful, but I hope maybe you can see some ways that they were succeeding, some ways that they weren't succeeding. To close it out, maybe I'll pull up, this is going to be like so embarrassing, but I'll pull up a little bit of the stream that I did of Little Nightmares. This is cool. I really like this game so far. We're going to turn on this lantern over here so that in case there are any gnomes here, they can warm up. I wonder if those count as save points too, maybe? This game is it really? What's up, Drayden? Hi, Thane Draven. How are you tonight? Is that little emote drinking coffee? Okay, so we can see narrating what I was thinking about the game, why I was lighting the lantern, making a joke about the little gnomes that we see in the game. And then, since I'm a smaller streamer, these other people have thousands of people watching them at one time. I'm very engaged with my chat because it's a pretty small community. And so I have someone that came in and I immediately turned to talk to them. The benefits and negatives of that is, on one hand, the reason that Markiplier is just uploading nothing but gameplay is that he has, like I said, thousands, millions of fans. He can't, if he spent the whole time talking to the people talking to him, you wouldn't actually see any gameplay. And people want to see him play the video game. They don't necessarily want to see him talking to random people that they don't care about. I can tell watching this that I know that I'm being too quiet on this part, which is why I'm trying to what is he? What is going on? Now, another thing is that could just be a personality type. Maybe if somebody is coming to watch your stream, they don't need a constant flow. I'm the kind of person where if I'm in a conversation with people and there's awkward silences, I will constantly try and fill the space of a conversation with noise because I am uncomfortable by silence. But I am going to go ahead and jump out of here. I hope that this was helpful on some techniques and ideas on how to make your stream entertaining and engaging. So if there's anything in specific you guys would like to see Twitch tutorials on, leave a comment below, let me know, and I will prioritize that. This was the most requested one, so I thought I would do this one first. Oh. He hates being held. You hate me. Why are you in my room then? This is my brother's cat. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump out of here and start streaming. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you want to see more Twitch tutorials. And yeah, thank you guys. Talk to you later. Bye!